Julia, thank you very much for that. For more now on our big political story of the day, the handing down of the interim Royal Commission into Defence and Veteran Suicides, let's bring in Liberal MP Phil Thompson, who previously served as an infantry soldier in the ADF, including tours of Afghanistan and East Timor. Phil, thank you for your time as always. This report makes for difficult reading, but I don't think any of it would surprise you, does it?
No, it's not really, it's not surprising, mate. I welcome the report, but, these are many things in there that I've discussed before my time in politics and whilst my time in politics. It's, some of these things that have been discussed in the shadows, and talking about suicide and mental well-being and should be out in the open, and we should be discussing it. What we've done now is shone a light in the darkest corners of our Defence Force, and we need to be working with the commissioners, working together with their recommendations and the 13 they've just released today.
And fundamentally, with the department, in basic terms, while the interim report is lengthy, the fundamental issue has been that the claim process to get support for veterans has just been too complicated.
It's too complicated. It takes too long. We need to harmonise the claims process. There's different legislations that need to be working together. People who are putting in claims shouldn't be waiting, more than a year to get a response from the department. This recommendation, which is number 2, that was put out today, really needs the department to be working, to the government, to be going, this is what we need to be able to do our job in the best possible way, and then it's on the government to implement it. We want these to be these recommendations to be actioned with urgency. We don't want this to be another report that goes in a drawer somewhere. Where we want the Minister Keogh and the Prime Minister to get on the front foot and start actioning these recommendations.
And also for the military itself, for the Defence Force, what needs to be learned there in terms of the abuse that clearly has been suffered by many of your veteran counterparts, Phil?
I want to firstly start by apologising to all the families who have lost a loved one to ADF and veteran suicide. This simply shouldn't have happened, and I'm sorry for that. What we need to learn from the horrible things that have occurred, even before my time with being in defence, to better pave the way for our future soldiers. And we need to in-source our veterans to be going out and working with the current ADF. We need our veterans to get involved because we've gone through these hard periods, these hard times, waiting for claims. Mate, I've buried far too many of my mates. In the last 5 years, I've buried 12 of my friends. It's simply not good enough. And all political persuasions, all politicians, it doesn't matter what colour shirt they wear, have failed. Yeah. And I haven't been shy in saying this in the past, and I'm not shy with saying it again today. And they need to be better because we work for the community. We work for our people, and we shouldn't be losing our most bravest to suicide.
No, that is just horrific, the personal experience you talk about. And then when you read through the report, DVA had nearly 42,000 claims in the backlog as of May this year. It's extraordinary, and there's been no progress in the last couple of years.
Extraordinary, I would go not good enough. This can't be occurring. And every government, regardless of the political persuasion, always wants to do the right thing and always wants to talk about, record investment and this is what we're putting in. Okay, let's flip it and go to the department. Tell us what you need to do your job. Tell us what you need to ensure that there isn't tens of thousands of backlog claims where soldiers from around the country, sailors and aviators, are waiting years on end to get a claim put through and accepted. Because, mate, when I put claims in, and you put it in, and you're normally putting it in when you're not doing the best, right? And then you wait. Yeah. Well, we shouldn't be waiting a year. It makes you worse. The injuries get worse, your mental well-being gets worse, and in some cases, people succumb to their war within.
Yeah, horrific. And then just to I should get your response to this, a specific mention, it says, in our view, the lack of response and progress from June 2019 to mid-May 22 amounted to a dereliction of the government's duty to veterans. That's the former government. What do you say to that scathing assessment of the government dropping the ball there? The former government, that is.
You know, yeah, the government I was in. I was in the government during this period. I can tell you that everything that was given to me on recommendations from the veteran groups all the way to different reports went into the government, went into the ministers. You know, we need to be doing everything we can to preserve life. We've seen reports after reports after reports, simply not good enough. And now we need action. And like I said, governments of all persuasions talk about record investment, talk about how good they're doing. We need to flip it and actually be going, not telling people what they want and asking what they need. And in this case, what they need comes from the department, and we need to be supporting them and getting on with the job and ensuring that our most bravest are getting the support they need.
And finally, a legend up in those parts. I know the former coach of the Cowboys, the untimely death of Paul Green must be received pretty sadly up there in those parts around Townsville, Phil.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking. You know, I've got to know Greenie over many years. He was someone that would always offer his fearless and frank advice, someone I called a mate. He's done so much within our community, not just with the Cowboys and the NRL more widely. It's a tragedy to hear it, mate, and my thoughts and my heart goes out to his family who must be going through such an awful time right now.
Absolutely. Well said. Phil Thompson, thank you. I appreciate your time. Talk to you soon.
Thanks, mate. Thanks for having me.